When fact checking fails, FEMA's political fallout puts misinformation police under the microscope. See, this is exactly why we cannot allow government to come in and curtail our free speech and censor us in because they can label anything misinformation. They can label anything disinformation, anything that they don't like. Because they were saying that when people was coming out saying that Trump supporters was not being taken care of during the terrible storm during the hurricane, and they said, oh, that's misinformation, that never happened. And then we got the text to come out to find out that it was actually true. So what would have happened if this text message would have been never been released, and we never would have known what FEMA was really up to? I mean, this is disgusting. This is exactly why I was excited when I saw Trump come out and make that speech on preserving free speech, which was amazing. If y'all haven't seen that speech, I suggest y'all look it up and see it for yourself. But we're gonna talk about this, and also before we jump into this, I posted a bunch of videos earlier today. The audio was off. Sorry about that, but I'm gonna leave them up anyway. But and also before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, follow me on Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. All right, so let's just get into this news. All right, now this comes from the Liberty Daily by way of Reclaim the Net by Dan Freeth. And he reports that the revelation that a FEMA employee instructed relief workers to bypass homes displaying support for Donald Trump during the aftermath of Hurricane Milton have substantiated at least some concern that were initially dismissed as misinformation by several Democratic lawmakers and mainstream media outlets, including the New York Times, who described suggestions that relief workers were, quote, neglecting areas that had voted for Republicans are false in a fact check. Excuse me. Now, this incident sheds light on the broader implications of the fight against online so-called misinformation, particularly how premature labeling of claims can potentially suppress legitimate grievances and criticisms that later prove to be based on some truth, something that happened often during the 2020 COVID era. We all know I've lost a whole channel for things that turned out to be true. And all I did was just read studies and get this information from peer-reviewed researchers, and got labeled and stuff as misinformation and all these other things, and ended up having to delete videos and channels and all this stuff. It's just ridiculous. But the controversy surrounding the FEMA employee who allegedly directed a relief team to ignore homes displaying support for then Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump has sparked outrage and demands for a thorough investigation by legislators. As first reported by the Daily Wire, the employee, who has now been fired, instructed team members to bypass these homes, an action condemned by FEMA Administrator Diane Criswell as a, quote, clear violation of FEMA's core values and principles to help people regardless of their political affiliation. So here's the text message right here. You can see right here, it said that, right here, the highlighted part say, avoid homes advertising Trump. Like, this is crazy that they actually put this out. If someone from the federal government actually put this out. And Criswell's confirmation of the dismissal came through a post on X following online reports about the employee's conduct. While she didn't specify which hurricanes relief efforts were affected, ABC News and the New York Times reported it was during the aftermath of Hurricane Milton in Florida. This hurricane struck shortly after the catastrophic Hurricane Helene. The rush to curb the spread of so-called misinformation online is a top priority for many pro-censorship platforms and legacy institutions claiming to protect public discourse from false narratives. However, this incident exemplifies the complexities and risks inherent in these efforts. Initially, the claims regarding any FEMA's discriminatory practices were quickly categorized um, as baseless and part of an online misinformation campaign. This not only stifled debate, but potentially delayed the scrutiny necessary to uncover and address any wrongdoings. It's just wrong. This is why the government need to stay out of freedom of speech. This is why we have a First Amendment, and the government needs to leave it alone. And like I said earlier, I love what Trump is doing with him talking about he's going to make it illegal for government to come in and tell you what you can and can't say, especially on online platforms. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.